Well, my father likes my type. Where would I be without my father? My name is Sam Green. I was born with two names, one Sam and one Green. Also, ancestors go back to Greenerman, but it's Green that my name is. I was born in the Women's Hospital in Carlton, Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, Earth, this part of the galaxy, somewhere in the Milky Way, in the universe it seems. So, in time and space I was born, like most of us here on the planet. So some people used to call me Green Sam, but I'm not a Martian, I'm an Earthling from planet Earth, Melbourne, Australia. Richmond was the first place I grew up, in the parks and village. I saw people delivering ice and people drunk in the street because of 6 o'clock closing. Life has been ups and downs like everyone else. Life is good, life is sweet. It's probably the theory of physics. You know, you push something somewhere and like a ball in motion, something happens somewhere. Or time itself, time moves forward. This stage in life, only time can move forward, we understand that. My grandfather was a watchmaker in Belarus, which became part of Poland, then became part of Latvia, and then became part of Belarus, and then became part of Poland. And there were pogroms and wars all the time, but he made a living just repairing clocks for the noblemen and people around there. Of course, in those days there was not much electricity, and everyone would play music to pass the time for weddings and performances. I had an ancestor named Benjamin, and Benjamin would write songs in Russian and Polish and Yiddish and all kinds of things like that. And he wrote a lot. And the family, when I was growing up as a first generation immigrant family, where my father came from Russia, Poland, was in the Russian army, then got into the government of Belarus. He became second in charge of telecommunications. And he was basically printing passports for fellow friends to get out of Russia. And eventually it got too hot, and he landed in Marseille in France with diplomatic ties to come to Australia, the furthest away from Belarus at that time, Belarus or whatever it's called. My mother was my mother always sang when we were young. She has a beautiful voice, and the family used to come together when we were young. They say that you're meant to live to 120, but so life is young according to the blink of an eye of the universe. But who am I to say what is what? One must live with health and well-being, and such it was that my parents had health and well-being as we were growing up. Sunday the family would come together and they'd sing away the blues. People would come with, I call it harmonica, but it's piano accordions and balalaikas and spoons. I was a young boy growing up with this music.
There's a trick to living, and that is love. Every season has its day. Turn the clock, we're getting older. Every season a little shorter. There's a trick to living, and that is love.
Makes sense.
Well, time continues on, you know, just like that 747 does.
Yeah, but you don't have to be concerned with time. You know it exists. It's a man-made concept.
Well, yeah, it is to a certain extent, but
Time is like a tree of flowers, you know, and the buds of life. The buds of life is where we live, in between the buds of life. Time is time, therefore it exists. To enjoy it while we can, and to struggle to stay alive. The planet should look after life. Life should be the number one goal.
Sam Green, the Time Machine. It's an interesting. Well, first it started, I'm a watchmaker, so it started off as a watchmaker, but then I picked up the name, and I would get all crazy people around me talking about time travel and whether they were from another universe, I'm not sure, but I don't want to even think about it. As far as I'm concerned, they were crazy and they got me in a lot of trouble. So I kept with the name because it got out there. Parallel universes is an early stage of time itself. What is a parallel universe? Is whatever universe you're in is the universe you're in. By touching the parallel universe, to get into it from one universe, if you get into one parallel universe to another parallel universe, you go back to the first parallel universe because you, like radiation, you become part of that universe which goes back to the same universe.
Where the air is clean, in a running water stream, nothing is left out. Then we took a fishing trip, travel cross country, down the Prince's Highway. We can leave today, we can make it in a day, where the air is clean, near a running water stream. We can live today, we can make it in a day, where the air is clean, near a running water stream, near a running water stream, near a running water stream.
What can I say? Someone once came into the shop, and I have to tell you a story. So this is a story that I remember that comes from the back of my head to express myself. The answer's blowing in the wind. Will that bird ever get flooded away? Must be 13 o'clock or something. So what can I say about watchmaking? I'm Sam Green and the Time Machine. I started on the internet when I was before the internet started. I got an account and built a website and knew HTML, which is a language of the internet, internet and websites. Promoted myself in a big way, and I would put stories on my website that I'm flying around the world performing, and people must have believed me because one guy from New York flew in and he says, "I'll put you on my label," and he put me on. I'm still on his label on the Orchard. He was starting out his company, and he promotes me and I promote him. And you can get my music on Microsoft and iTunes and eMusic and anywhere, Big Pond, and anywhere that's anyone I've forgotten. Please send me an email, and I'll pray that I say it the next time. I filled in the forms on the internet and got in the search engines, and they knew of me. There was someone who got into the internet who was before me. I got in '92, and someone had been there at the beginning, which was also Sam Green. So everyone got mixed up. There were so many Sam Greens. There's even a Sam Green who's a film producer that I write to too. And there's another Sam Green in London who's on the web too. So someday I'm going to have a conference of Sam Green, so we can all go, Sam Green, be seated, and 10,000 of us will be seated. And talking about watchmaking, which I'm not, but now I am, one person came in and said, have you got this is when watches were expensive, and he said, have you got a watch that's cheap? And I said, I can sell you a watch for $20. And he said, no, cheaper than that. And I said, $10? He says, no, cheaper than that, about $2. I want a watch for $2. He says, well, I have a stick out the back, and it only works in daytime, and if you get the stick and you hammer it into the ground, by working out the mathematics of the shadow, you can work out the time. It's pretty accurate too. He didn't buy it, but I should have sold it to him anyhow.
Somehow we reflect on what we write. Penny, you were a candle to me, child and sister too true to be, from a small boy who had just left home and was sometimes glad when he was alone. Found some pebbles, stroll and free after years. Would you remember me? I was the guy just a one more candle down by the sea. If a valley's near a mountain with a valley never ending, will I ever find the one for your heart? The valley's near a mountain with a river ever flowing, will I ever find the one for your heart? So fly away, fly today, fly away, will I ever find a rose for my heart? Will I ever find a rose for my heart?
My first poem must have been in 6th grade or something. Flipping through the pages of our lives, wondering where's the reason or the rhyme. Floating in that ocean in the sun, drinking on Coke or Bacardi rum. It was a variation of that, so I wrote in second form, and that was a poem that later I put to music. And the teacher, I was dyslexic, so I was always getting bad marks, and one teacher corrected the P's and the Q's and the wrong spelling, and gave me 10 out of 10, I think 11 out of 10, and put it on the wall for everyone to see that that he's a great writer. And then the whole all the girls at school would come up to me and say, "Sam Green, you don't know it, but you're a poet." And I had an aptitude test, and the aptitude test, I wanted to be an archaeologist when I was younger. You've got to be something, a fireman or an archaeologist. So I picked an archaeologist. It's less fire, it's more dust. So I wanted to be an archaeologist, and somewhere along the line in 5th or 6th grade I got an aptitude test that says I should, I filled in the aptitude test, and the aptitude test said I should be a performer, a songwriter, a journalist, or an author, or something like that, something creative. And somewhere along the line in 5th or 6th grade I got an aptitude test that says I should, I filled in the aptitude test, and the aptitude test said I should be a performer, a songwriter, a journalist, or an author, or something like that, something creative. It was a hobby, and somewhere along the line it became a profession as well as a hobby.
If the ship comes in today, I'll be on my way. The time and tide won't cease. We're bound for Australia. If the ship comes in today, we'll be on our way. The time and tide won't cease. We're bound for Australia. Father left Marseille in the year of 49. The wind carried his boat away to this land I call my home. If the ship comes in today, we'll be on our way. The time and tide won't cease. We're bound for Australia.
I was 17, 18 or 19, and there was a gong show on 3UZ, and I went on the show and sang my protest song, you know, the blood runs free like the river flows, enemies all around wearing different kind of clothes. This land is ours and we've got the right to defend this land with all our might. Your ship, it floats on the ocean tide, telling us to stop this war, save a few more lives. Paranoid little boy wrote songs about war, and they had meaning, and I got 2 gongs, and not discouraged, he gave me a handful of dollars, which paid for everyone to have beers at that day, and plus a counter lunch. We had a party.
I'm drinking, yes I'm drinking, to forget why I'm drinking. I'm drinking, yes I'm drinking, let me drink to your hand. Set 'em up, Joe, let's have another one in a row. She told me I was a lover, and that time would not tear us apart. Now she's dancing to my lawyer, that's another story, hey, you know. I'm drinking, yes I'm drinking, to forget why I'm drinking. I'm drinking, yes I'm drinking, let me drink to your health. Set him up, Joe, let's
have another one in a row. I'd say a singer-songwriter, poet of our times, who writes from the heart and soul, worthy of a listen or your enjoyment itself. Please give a warm welcome to probably me. My favourite song is Remember me, my old friend, I remember you. Time has turned us older, for time is just a dance. Every song is has meaning in a part of my life. It's like a bit of art of that thought to get me by that day, whatever it is. And if I can convey a message, I studied a lot of the construction of songs from growing up with great writers around me and writing at the same time. You get to understand that one letter goes after another. You step one foot forward, you have one sentence in the next sentence, and everything flows like a river. So water is life, and life is a river that flows, for the sea has no end. So knowledge has to go forward, and essence of life has to come. Eventually someone as I understand, someone in time itself, when time collapses, will go back into time and fix up time so it goes forward again. So whether it's a cycle of from 12 to 1, it goes back all the time. But it would take 14 billion years to do such a thing. So if this is the end of the film, all I can say is Wiedersehen, all the best. Catch you somewhere in the time machine itself. We're taking a rocket to the moon. We're taking a rocket to the moon. We're taking a rocket to the moon. You can come too. We're gonna fly